Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this fun little journey of refreshing your master bedroom, or perhaps you're doing a guest bedroom or a child's bedroom. Whatever the case may be, I think the same approach applies to any room that you're doing, but especially a bedroom. So, we've talked a little bit about measuring our space and laying out the furniture that you have or that you think that you might like to use in a bedroom. And many of you are probably joining us with the idea that you want to just pick some great fabrics and some bedding and that kind of thing, and that's fine. You can skip this step if you'd like, but I think it is a good exercise to have for every bedroom in your home if you plan on refreshing anything else. And the reason is because when you walk into a furniture store or a little boutique like mine and you have this floor plan, then the person there can help you almost immediately find the appropriate size furniture that you're looking for. Otherwise, you could potentially make some costly mistakes by buying the wrong thing, wrong size, not to mention that it's a little bit of a hassle to return pieces of furniture, and nobody likes that. So, I am going to show you, you have probably drawn yours out on graph paper, and that's perfectly fine. When I meet with a client the first time, that is one of the first things I do. I hand draw the space and take measurements, and then I bring it back to my office and do this type of drawing, and I use it over and over and over again during the process of working with a client. So I'm going to just show you a couple of little things to keep in mind, especially if you are drawing your space and not sure where to place the furniture or how to place the furniture, or if you have room for a particular piece of furniture. So follow along, and hopefully this will answer a lot of your questions. So right here I have a 16, let's call it 16 and a half by 16 and a half bedroom, and I've drawn this attached to it just so you can see that this is a doorway that cannot be blocked because it takes you out of the room, obviously. This particular bedroom has a porch on the outside, and I'll show you why I did this style, but this takes you to a walk-in closet, which takes you into the bathroom. So again, this doorway needs to be open, and this is the doorway that takes you out of the space, so that's important as well. This particular one, I didn't draw any doors, but I just wanted to show you how to measure a bay window if you have it. So let's get started here. You've got a long window, and let's call that the back of the house, and then you've got two single windows. So this layout actually works very well, and the reason it is designed so well is because it is the shape of my bedroom, and we did a lot of thinking ahead of time to make sure that I had a wall to put a bed on. We could put the TV here if we wanted, and I have room for a pair of chairs. So let me show you how this lays out in this bedroom. I have a king size bed. I have a pair of chests on either side, and those fit really well. And then I have a nice chest of drawers here with a TV above it, and I have a pair of chairs in the room. And there we go. Okay, so in this layout, we have plenty of access when you get out of bed to walk to the bathroom. I am not blocking a window. As you can see here, we have the chest right up in the corner, and with window treatments, you don't want your chest crammed up against the wall and with no space between it and the window. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The other is to have a nice amount of space between the end of the bed to create your walkway, no less than 3 feet actually. So this is a little over 4 feet, and I can scoot the chairs back if I need to to create more space. But this is another important measurement that you want to bear in mind when you're laying out your furniture. And also selecting furniture. So in this case, you don't want something that's so small it looks like it doesn't fit with the scale of the room. And these actually work really well. If you have something a little bit smaller, I think that's fine. And even if you have it deeper, as long as you're not here and that you have a little bit of space here, and in this case we have a little over a foot. So that's plenty of room on that side of the chest. So you'd put a pair of lamps here, which would be really nice. You've got plenty of wall space for art. You've got space here for art. You could also put a nice, I'm just going to use this as an example. You could put a nice etagere or a table here. Probably want it a little bit smaller so it does not encroach on this window. But there's some room in this bedroom to move some furniture around. So just keep in mind with this layout or this style layout, any layout in fact, you don't want to encroach on the windows if you're going to do window treatments. But either way, whether you're doing them or not, you don't want anything right up next to it or sitting on top of it like this. The other is that when you get out on this side of the bed, you have plenty of room for a walkway. You could even potentially put a bench at the end of the bed and still have room. Well, you've got 3 feet basically here, and that would be just fine. So this is another example of just a well laid out bedroom. In this room, I can show you, this is actually a chair, but we're going to just use it as a square. I'm going to show you a rug in here. So this is a 9 by 12 rug. And so that's too long. That just doesn't fit in the space at all. But you could turn it this way and you've got room to get out of the bed and your feet land on the carpet. You could scoot this chair back and it won't sit on the carpet, and this is a nice way to walk on a rug to your bathroom. So that's just an example, and that's how I would lay the rug out. You want it to come up just in front of the chest, or you can actually take it all the way up to the chest if you want. And you don't really want it, unless you're going to sit the whole piece of furniture on it, you don't want just a little corner of the chair on it. And it is nice for it to come to the end of the bed. It could even, it could come here actually. But you could use an 8 by 10, but a 9 by 12 in this room is perfect. So that's one example of how to lay out. You could put your bed over here as well, but I'm just showing you kind of ideal layouts so that if your room looks anything like this, you have a place to go. So in this bedroom, like I said, you do not want to block these walkways. And in this case, we've got this door that it opens to the outside, but let's just say it opened to the inside. This is a potential problem. However, I'm going to assume that if you have French doors here, you're going to keep this one closed most of the time, and this one will be the one that opens. So you need clearance here, and you've got that. So this layout leaves you a small space on each side of the bed to do a little bedside table. Perhaps you do a round one on one side and a little square one on the other. You don't have a lot of room there. But as an alternative, you could put the bed here. If at all possible, I prefer to not walk into the bedroom and see the bed. However, in this case, like I said, it does give you more room, and it might be the best solution for this layout. You've got a window here, which is fine. So again, you don't want this situation. So you got to keep your bedside table rather small. Well, it's probably about 2 feet. So a little over 2 feet. And that's actually a really nice size bedside table. Again, you have clearance to get to your closet and your bathroom. If you flip I'm going to just flip that so it looks like it's closed. If you get out of your bed, you can walk clearly into the bathroom and the closet, and you're not blocking any windows, you're not blocking any doors, and this is actually a nice layout. I'm gonna say that most likely you would not have a master that looked like this. This would be more like a guest room, which is okay as well. In a guest room or a child's room, you could go with a smaller bed, and this would be probably preferable. That way, when you walk in the room, you're seeing maybe a pretty sofa or a pair of chairs or a chest of drawers or something, so that you can put your bed on this wall for a little more privacy. In this situation, I just wanted to show you, if you're measuring your room and you kind of need to know the depth of this space, you can kind of ballpark it. But if you measure from this corner to this corner, and then on your piece of paper draw this line where it intersects, that's your depth. And the reason that's important is, let's just say you want to put a console table or a little chest or a chair or something in that window. You need to know how much space you have there so that it doesn't encroach in the room. So those are a couple of examples of bedrooms and layouts, and why it is important to go ahead and put your furniture in your room to scale. And let me just say one more thing. When you're drawing your furniture, there are templates that you can Google and find their interior design templates, and they'll have a template for a king size bed and chest of drawers and things like that. Each one of your squares hopefully represents a foot, and so you can even draw it that way. You don't even have to have a template. You can just measure your bed, measure your bedside tables, and draw it in yourself. But as you can see, this is very helpful in terms of going to buy a piece of furniture and knowing the size, generally the size and space. So you can go look for furniture, figure out what the dimensions are, come back and redraw it on your plan and know approximately what it's going to look like in your space. So I hope this is helpful, and hopefully you are all drawing, and please don't forget to tag us on Instagram and let us see your progress. Thanks so much.